Tonight, a dramatic rescue on thin ice. A young deer falls through the ice on a water hazard at the Bear Mountain Golf Course and spends a frigid night stuck in the freezing water. A friend stays by his side until the help arrives, and Langford firefighters pull out all the stops to save him. That story and all of your island news just ahead. This is 8 Channel News at 5. Good evening. A hole-in-one at Langford's Bear Mountain Golf Course is rare, but a deer stuck in the frozen water hazard is even more unusual. It was just days ago that Langford firefighters practiced rescue on thin ice, and they put those skills to the test today, saving a young buck trapped in the ice, likely overnight. The deer had a companion, a great blue heron that didn't leave his side until the buck was safely on land. A chilling reminder tonight that our frozen waterways pose a risk not just to animals, but to people. 8 Channel's Mary Beth Burton has the story.
A baby buck has fallen through the ice on a pond near the 13th hole on Bear Mountain. A great blue heron keeps a watchful eye as Langford firefighters get geared up for an ice rescue. They received an urgent call from Bear Mountain staff.
Just on our way up to the pump house to do some annual maintenance on it. And we just happened to come up the cart path and noticed a deer in the water just kind of flailing.
The first of 2 firefighters rolls onto the ice with an audible reminder of how dangerous this job is. He slowly inches his way to the stranded deer on his stomach, trying to balance his weight on the thin coat of frozen water. The deer struggles at first and gives out a pained cry. Rescuers worry the deer has a broken limb and is suffering severe hypothermia.
Deer was probably in there most of the night. There were no hoof marks on the ice surface, on the snow, so it probably fell through in the evening and was there for some time.
The first rescuer wraps a modified harness, much like a child's swimming noodle, around the deer.
Gently sliding the deer.
That doesn't work, so he uses his hands to grab the buck and pull him free of the ice. That's where the second rescuer takes over.
Nice and slow, guys, not too fast.
Pass the deer off to Scott. We managed to use a rescue line on Scott and drag the deer and Scott straight off of the ice, and I followed.
The heron gives firefighters room for the rescue, but there's another bird nearby, an eagle who's been picking away at the deer's tail.
Can you both pick them up, guys? Yeah.
When the deer is safe on land, getting him warm is the next priority. The fire chief takes off his coat.
Get this underneath them.
Langford had just practiced ice rescues last week and knows the outcome could have been very different.
If the firefighter and the deer had fallen through into the water would have created a cooling wick-like action and brought the deer's core temperature down even more to a more dangerous level.
A veterinarian checks the buck's vital statistics. The deer's face is covered and he's loaded onto the back of an all-terrain vehicle for further medical attention. His friend, the heron, satisfied her job is done, flies away.
The young buck, nicknamed Jack, is now here at the Glenview Animal Hospital, and he's getting some intravenous drip into him now and some warm blankets, but it's too early to tell how he's going to fare in the long run.
Jack, named for Nicholas, who designed Bear Mountain, is carrying a heavy lice and mite load.
We're not finding any fractures or anything like that, but with temperature normal, he should be feeling a little bit better, and he's still quite depressed right now.
The vet worries Jack may have been hit by a vehicle before finding himself trapped on the ice. In Langford, Mary Beth Burton, 8 Channel News.
And we want to bring you an update now on the story of Jack, the young rescued buck that we first showed you last night on 8 Channel News. This morning, Jack was transported to the Wild Ark Rescue Center in Metchosin. This was the scene yesterday at the Bear Mountain Golf Course. The deer is listed in guarded condition, still suffering from a fair bit of distress. He's now trying to stand up, though. Jack's been hooked up to an intravenous to get the fluids he needs and the attention he needs. He's getting right now. Wild Ark hopes to release him within the next few days. It's a reminder to everybody, particularly kids, how dangerous the thin ice is as the temperature slowly warms up. Still ahead. You might say Jack is out of the box. The young deer rescued from the frozen water hazard on Bear Mountain Golf Course is steps closer to freedom in the wild. There he is, Jack, frolicking in the outdoor pen at the SPCA's Wild Ark Animal Rehabilitation Center. This is the scene 2 weeks ago as rescue crews used ropes to drag little Jack from the iced-over 13th hole water hazard. The little deer's recovery has been slow but steady.
Well, we're going to check on him every hour for the next day or so, and he's looking great. He's, he really looks antsy, and he does want to get out of here soon, but we don't want to release him too soon before he's ready, and we're 100% sure that he's going to make a good progress.
Jack is likely going to be released into the wild from the Metchosin SPCA Centre over the next few days. If you'd like to help out, donations to help fund his medical costs and the cost of caring for the 30 other wild animals at the Wild Ark are welcomed at wildark.com.